feast, Mike McInerney. Myself and yourself to be left here in the bed. And it's the feast day of St. Coleman. And the rest of the ward attending on the Mass.
Is it sitting up by the hearth you wish you to be, Michael Miskin, with cold in the shoulders and with speckled chins? Let you rise up so, and you well able to do it. Not like myself, that has pains the same as tin tacks within in the inside.
If you have pains within, in your inside, that is no one can know what they're saying of it the way they can see my own knees that are swelled up with the rheumatism. And my hands that are twisted in ridges, same as an old cabbage stalk. 'Tis easy to be talking about soreness and about pains, and they may be not to be in it at all.
To open me and to analyze me, you would know what sort of a pain and a soreness I have in my heart and in my chest. But I'm not one like yourself to go cursing and praying and tormenting the time the nuns are at hand, thinking to get a bigger share than myself of the nourishment and of the milk.
That's how you do be picking at me and faulting me. I had a share, and a good share in my early time. And it's well you know that, and the both of us reared in Skahana.
You may say that indeed the both of us were reared in Skahana. Little wonder you to have good nourishment the time we were both rising. And you bringing away my rabbits out of the snare.
But you didn't bring away my own eels, I suppose. I was after spirited in the Turlough. Selling them to the nuns in the convent you did, and letting on they to be your own. For you were always a traitor and a schemer, grabbing every earthly thing for your own profit.
And you were no grabber yourself, I suppose, till your land and all you had grabbed wore away from you.
If I lost you yourself, it was through the crosses I met with and I going through the world. I never was a rambler and a card player like yourself, Mike McInerney, that ran through all and lavished it, unknown to your mother.
Lavished it, is it? If I did, was it you yourself led me to lavish it or some other one? It is on my own floor I would be today, and in the face of my family, were it not for the misfortune I had to be put with a bad next-door neighbour that was yourself. What way did my means go for me, is it? Spending on fencing, spending on walls, making up gates, putting up doors to keep your hens and your ducks from coming in through starvation on my floor, and every four-footed beast you had from preying and trespassing on my oats and my mangolds and my little lock of hay.
To listen to you, and I striving to please you and to be kind to you and to close my ears to the abuse you would be calling and letting out of your mouth. To trespass on your crops, is it? It's a little temptation there was for my poor beasts to ask to cross the Mering. My God Almighty, what had you but a little corner of a field?
What do you say to my garden that your two pigs had destroyed on me, the year of the big tree being knocked, and they making gaps in the walls?
There'd those be a great deal of gaps knocked in a 12-month. Why wouldn't they be knocked by thunder, the same as the tree? Or some storm that came up from the west?
It was the west wind, I suppose, that devoured my green cabbage, and that rooted up my champion potatoes, and that ate the gooseberries themselves from off the bush.
Oh, what are you saying? The two quietest pigs ever I had. No way wicked and well reamed. They were not 10 minutes in it. It would be hard for them to eat strawberries in that time, let alone gooseberries that's full of thorns.
They were not quiet, but two very ravenous pigs you had at that time. As active as a fox they were, killing my young ducks. Once they had blood tasted, you couldn't stop them.
And what happened myself, the fair day of Esserkelly, the time I was passing your door, two brazen dogs that rushed out and took a piece of me. I never was the better of it, out of the start I got, but wasting from then till now.
Thinking you were a wild beast, they did. that had made his escape out of a traveling show, with the red eyes here, and the ugly face here, and the two crooked legs here that wouldn't hardly stop a pig in a gap. Sure, any dog with any life in it at all would be roused and stirred, seeing the like of you going the road.
I did well taking out a summons against you that time. It is a great wonder you not to have been bound over through your lifetime, but the laws of England is queer.
What ailed me that I did not summons you, and you after stealing away the clutch of eggs I had in a barrel, and I away in Ardrahan searching out a clock in hand.
To steal your eggs, is that what you're saying now? The Lord is in heaven, and Peter and the saints, and yourself that was in Ardrahan that day, put the hand on them as soon as myself. What a bad story for me to be wearing out my days beside you, same as a spancelled goat. Chained I am and tethered I am to a man that is ransacking his mind for lies.
If it is a bad story for you, Michael Miskell, it is a worse story again for myself. A Miskell, to be next and near to for the whole of the 4 quarters of the year. I never heard there to be any great name on the Miskells, as there was on my own race and name.
You didn't, is it? Well, you could hear it if you had but ears to hear it. Go across to the Shinkrana and down to the sea, and to Newtown Lynch, and the mills of Duras, and you'll find the Miskell, and as far as Dublin.
What signifies Crana and the mills of Duras? Look at all my own generations that are buried in the 7 churches. And how many generations of the Miskells are buried in it? Answer me that.
I tell you, but for the wheat that was to be sowed, there would be more sidecars and more common cars at my father's funeral, God rest his soul, than at any funeral ever left your own door. And as to my mother, she was a cuff from Clare Galway, and she had the purer blood.
What do you say to the banshee? Was ever she heard to screech or cry for the Miskells?
Oh!
Or for the cuffs from Clare Galway? She was not, but for the 6 families, the Hennessy's, the Foxes, the Fahies, the Dooleys, the McInernys. It is on the nature of the McInernys she is, I am thinking, crying them the same as a king's children.
It is a pity, the banshee, not to be crying for yourself at this minute, and giving you a warning to quit your lies, and your chat, and your arguing, and your contrary ways. For there is no one under the rising sun could stand you. I tell you, you are not behaving as in the presence of the Lord.
Is it wishful for my death you are? Let it come, and meet me now, and welcome, so long as it will part me from yourself. And I say, and I would kiss the book on it, I to have but one request only to be granted, and I lay in it in my will. It is what I would request. 9 furrows of the field, 9 ridges of the hills, 9 waves of the ocean, to be put between your grave and my own grave, the time we will be laid in the ground.
Amen to that. 9 ridges, is it? No, let the whole ridge of the world separate us to the day of judgment. I would not be laid near you at the 7 churches. I to get Ireland without a divide.
And after that again, I'd sooner than 10 pound in my hand. I but to know that my shadow and my ghost will not be knocking about with your shadow and your ghost, and the both of us waiting our time. I'd sooner be delayed in purgatory. Now, have you anything to say?
I have everything to say, if I had but the time to say it.
Let me up out of this till I choke you.
You scolding pauper, you.
Wait a while.
Wait a while yourself.
come up here by the stair. I was never in this place at all. I don't know, am I right? Which now of the two of ye is Mike McInerney?
Who is it who is calling me by my name?
Sure, amn't I your sister, Honor McInerney that is now Honor Donahoe?
So you are, I believe. I didn't know you till you pushed near me. It is high time for you to come and see me, and I in this place 5 years or more. Thinking me to be no credit to you, I suppose, among that tribe of the Donahoes. I wonder now they give you leave to come ask am I living yet or dead?
Ah, sure. I buried the whole string of them. Himself was the last to go. Lord be praised, he got a fine natural death. Sure, we must go through our crosses. And he got a lovely funeral. Oh, it would delight you to hear the priest reading the mass. Oh, my poor John Donahoe. A nice, clean man. You couldn't but be fond of him. Very heavy on the tobacco he was, but he wouldn't touch the drink.
And is it in Curran Row you are living yet?
Oh, it is so. He left all to myself. But it is a lonesome thing, the head of the house to have died.
I hope he has left you a nice way of living.
Oh, fair enough, fair enough. A wide, lovely house I have. A few acres of grassland. The grass does be sweet that grows amongst the stones. And as to the sea, there is something from it every day of the year. A handful of periwinkles to make kitchen. Or cockles, maybe. There is many a thing in the sea is not decent. But cockles are fit to put before the Lord.
You have all that, and you without here a man in the house.
It is what I'm thinking. Yourself might come and keep me company. It's no credit to me, a brother of my own, to be in this place at all.
I'll go with you. Let me out of this. It is the name of the McInerneys will be rising on every side.
I don't know. I was ignorant of your being kept to the bed.
I am not kept to it, but only in odd time when there is a colic rises up within me. My stomach always gets better at the time there is a change in the moon. I'd like well to draw near you. My heavy blessing on you, Honor Donahoe, for the hand you've held out to me this day.
Sure. You could be keeping the fire in and stirring the pot with a bit of Indian meal for the hens and milking the goat and taking the tacklings off the donkey at the door and maybe putting out the cabbage plants in their time. But when the old man died, the garden died.
I could, to be sure, and to be cutting the potatoes for seed. What luck could there be in a place and a man not be in it? Is that now a suit of clothes you have brought with you?
It is so. The way you will be tasty coming in among the neighbours at Curran Road.
Let me out of this. My joy you are. It is well you have earned me. Ah, a fine linen jacket. And a hat in the fashion.
And is it going out to this you are, Mike McInerney?
Didn't you hear I am going? To Curran Row I am going. Going I am to a place where I will get every good thing.
And is it to leave me here after you will?
Every good thing. The goat and the kid are there. The sheep and the lamb are there. The cow just be running, and she coming to be milked. Plowing and seed sowing. Blossom at Christmas time. The cuckoo crying through the dark days of the year. Oh, what are you talking about? Wheat high in the hedges. No talk about the rent. Salmon in the river as plenteous as turf. Spending and getting, and nothing scarce. Sport and pleasure, and music on the strings. Age will go from me, and I will be young again. Geese and turkeys for the hundreds, and drink for the whole world.
have no respect for me, and no wish for me at all.
Hush now, and I'll leave you my pipe. And I'll engage that His Honour Donohoe won't refuse to be sending you a few ounces of tobacco in our time, and neighbours coming to the fair in November or in the month of May.
It signifies tobacco. All that I am craving is to talk. But to be no one at all to say out to whatever thoughts might be rising in my innate mind. To be lying here, and no conversable person in it, would be the abomination of misery.
Look now, Honour. It is what I have often heard. Two to be better than one. Why, if you had an old trousers full of holes, or a skirt, wouldn't you put another under it that was as tattered as itself? And the two of them together would make some sort of a decent show.
What are you saying? There is no holes in that suit I brought you now, but as sound it is as the day I spun it for himself.
It is what I am thinking, Honour. I do be weak at an odd time. Any load I might carry, it plays upon my side. And this man does be weak at an odd time, with the swelling in his knees. But the two of us together, it is not likely that both at one time would fail. Bring the both of us with you, Honour, and the height of the castle of Luck beyond you, and the two of us together will make one good, hardy man.
I like my job. Is it queer in the head you are grown? Asking me to bring a stranger in off the road?
I am not, man, but an old neighbor I am. If I had forecasted this asking, I would have asked it myself. Michael Miskell I am. That was in the house next to you, in Skahana.
For pity's sake. Michael Miskell, is it? That's worse again. Yourself and Mike never left fighting and scolding and attacking one another, sparring at one another like two young pups you were, and threatening one another after like two grown dogs.
All the quarrel was ever in the place, it was myself did it. Sure, his anger rises fast and goes away like the wind. Bring him out with myself now, Honour Donohoe, and God bless you.
Well then, I will not bring him out, and I will not bring yourself out, and you not to learn better sense? Are you making yourself ready to come?
It is what I'm thinking, Honour. It is the main thing for a man that is shivering into 70 years to go changing from place to place.
Well, take your luck or leave it. All I asked was to save you from the hurt and the harm of the year.
Bring the both of us out, or I will not stir from this.
Give me back my fine suit, so, till I'll go look for a man of my own.
Let you go so, as you are so unnatural and disobliging, and look for a man of your own. God help him. For I will not go with you at all.
There is too much time I lost with you, and dark night waiting to overtake me on the road. Let the two of you stop together, and the back of my hand to you. It is I will leave you there the same as God left his people in the desert.
Maybe the house is not so wide as what she says.
Why wouldn't it be wide?
It does be a good deal of middling poor houses down by the sea.
What would you know about wide houses? Whatever house you had yourself, it was too wide for the provision you had in it.
Oh, whatever provision I had in my house, it was wholesome provision and natural provision. Herself and her periwinkles. Periwinkles is a hungry sort of a fool.
Stop your impudence and your chat, it'll be the worse for you. I'd bear with my own father and mother, as long as any man would. But if they vex me, I'd show them the length of a rope as soon as another.
I would never ask at all to go eat in periwinkles.
Have you anyone to fight me?
I have not. Only the Lord.
Let you lay putting insults on me so, and death picking at you.
Sure, I am saying nothing at all to displease you. It is why I wouldn't go eating periwinkles. I'm in dread that I might swallow the pin.
Who in the world wide is asking you to eat them? Sure, you're as tricky as a fish in the full tide.
Tricky, is it? Oh, my curse! And the curse of the 4 and 20 men upon you!
That the worm may chew you from skin to marrow.
You skimming bag of bones, you!
I tried some polite broken feathers.
You tyrant! You big bully, you!
Take that, soul, you starving ruffian, you.